Good afternoon, Penn Trafford, and welcome to What's Up Warriors. We have some stories for you today about what's going on around the school. I'm Joe.
I'm Cam.
The Penn Trafford boys basketball team is more than halfway through the season, and with a potential playoff spot quickly approaching, the team is working hard to end the season on a good note. I sat down with some of the players to talk about what's going on. This season, the boys basketball team has improved their record from last season, and they are making a race towards the playoffs. With more information on this, I sat down with some of the players to discuss how this season has gone so far.
We've been playing pretty well lately, and I think we're going to make a little run here at the end of the season and end up in the playoffs.
The Penn Trafford Warrior basketball team 2014 to 2015 has done okay. Our record's not as good as we've been playing. We've done pretty well against some high-quality teams. However, we cannot get the W.
Not as well as expected, but we've been in a lot of games, and anytime a Toll's putting the ball in the hoop, it's a good thing.
Key aspects, well, we got a few scores. We got Sean Sinelli. He can make a few buckets from time to time. We got the Fab Three. That includes myself, Brendan O'Toole, Christian Krebs, and Michael Barnes.
Well, to work as a team to win, we're all pretty good friends. We like to have a good time out there on the court, and anytime you see Jonah acting like a little girl on the bench, that ultimately gets you to play harder on the court.
Well, we got a few young guys that step up. Sean Kelly, Cam Mulfoon, they put in good minutes, help the team out, benefit the team.
I think we have a lot of chemistry on the team. We've been playing together since we were young, so I think that has to do a lot with being able to play good and putting success on the court.
We like to feed Toll in the post, get him to dunk at any time he can, because he's our best player.
The boys play tonight at 7:30 against Connellsville, and senior night is Tuesday, February 2nd against Albert Gallatin. With the boys basketball team and Penn Trafford, this is Joe Beers. Back to you guys.
1, 2, 3, team chemistry!
January signals the arrival of scheduling season for underclassmen. There's a lot of pressure on choosing classes, whether it be AP, honors, or regular. To help ease some of the pain, I sat down with 3 teachers to learn more about PT's newest classes.
It's that time of year again, scheduling. Here's some new classes available for this coming year.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Sinosky, and I teach the Family and Consumer Sciences courses here at Penn Trafford High School. So fashion design is open for students in 9th through 12th grade. The topics we plan to cover, we have a program we're in the process of ordering where the students will sit down on a computer and actually get to design their own garments according to the styles that they prefer, which I think would be very neat. After designing, they will be able to construct their own garments with the sewing machines. We'll do some fashion history, famous designer history, and hopefully make it more of a personal program where you can design according to your likes, your wants, and your styles. I highly encourage male students to sign up for the fashion design course, as well as female students. I don't want there to be any stereotypes with this course. Fashion design evolves around men and women. We all wear clothes, and we all have our own styles and trends. Some of our world-famous fashion designers are mostly men.
All right, I just want to take a minute and talk a little bit about a new course that's going to be offered next year. It's called Evolution of Games and Mobile Game Programming. It is a full-year course and no prerequisites. It will be offered to 9th through 12th graders, starting with evolution of games in terms of learning a little bit about the history of gaming, actually building board games with groups, collaborating, discussing, writing instructions. And then after we play games and reinvent games, maybe modify existing games, the second part of the course we will then move into working in like a mobile game development where we'll be using a software called Game Salad. So it's a nice product, and I think everyone will enjoy it.
Project 18 is a course designed to help kids get an idea of what state and local politics, how it operates, what it's all about, and the most important component is getting people involved in the community. And so we hope that kids get out and learn to serve the community and learn what the lawmaking process is like just by participating in it. It's very hands-on. It's a full-year credit class for juniors and seniors.
Okay, PT, you know what to do. Head down to the guidance office and sign up for these new classes.
Electronic cigarettes are growing in popularity, especially among high school students. Despite their popularity, it is still unknown whether or not they affect our health and those around us. Let's go to Nurse Blahovic for a closer look at e-cigarettes for this month's episode of Warrior Wellness.
Electronic cigarette looks like a pen, and inside is a cartridge. And in that cartridge is liquid nicotine. And there's also other substances in here, flavoring agents and propylene glycol and all kinds of other things. So when you put this cigarette in your mouth and you pull the air through, the airflow makes a little heater, actually, that's inside the cigarette ignite, and that then warms up the nicotine, and then you get this little vapor that comes out. It's a smokeless vapor, and that's how it works. The e-cigarettes were first created in 2004 in China, and they were created, one, to help people stop smoking because there was less nicotine in the cigarette, and also because we had smoking bans in restaurants and bars and things like that. This would be a more acceptable way to smoke in those smokeless areas. So that's why it was created. However, they are targeting the younger audience, the young adults, teenagers, are targeting them. And these are people that have never smoked before. So that's really not why the e-cigarette was created. So if we look at statistics as far as teenagers smoking, in 2014, the number of teenagers smoking real cigarettes dropped in half. However, the number of teenagers using e-cigarettes tripled. So now we're introducing nicotine to people who really were not addicted to it in the first place. So what are we doing? We're causing addiction to nicotine. Well, right now, the e-cigarettes have no regulations. So it makes the cigarette industry very happy because there are no regulations. They can sell the cigarettes, and they are selling tons of them. They do not have to monitor purities and additives. Are e-cigarettes a safe alternative to cigarettes? That is the leading question. We don't know. We have no long-term studies as to what the effect is of inhaling that vapor all the time. And we do know, though, that nicotine is addictive. Nicotine can affect the aging brain of a teenager. We do know, because they're not regulated, that some vapor cigarettes do emit formaldehyde and other toxins. That's dangerous. The other problem is, because the industry is not regulated, we are having varying degrees of nicotine in these cigarettes. Now, if you have nicotine at like 2.5%, it's not so bad. But if you get nicotine at 7.2%, it can be a huge problem, because in that cartridge that has liquid nicotine, what is happening is all the younger kids who are very curious about things, they're picking up the e-cigarette, they're opening it, and they're biting into the cartridge. We have had a 300% increase in calls to the Poison Control Center with young children being poisoned, like literally poisoned by these cigarettes. And again, if the nicotine content is 2.5%, they're going to have nausea, vomiting, just feel yucky. If the nicotine content is 7%, it could kill them. It could kill you too if you ingested in your body, not through your lungs, but if you ingested that cartridge of 7.2 nicotine. So that's a problem.
Although electronic cigarettes are advertised as a safe alternative to cigarettes, they are not purely water vapor, and they can be harmful to you and those around you. I'm Megan Godich for What's Up Warriors. Back to you in the studio.
We are deep into the winter season, and some of us wish it would just end. Monday is Groundhog Day, which means the end of the season may come quicker than we think. Besides the yearly prediction, what do you really know about Groundhog Day? With more on this, we go to Mike Butcher.
Ladies and gentlemen, Punxsutawney Phil!
February 2nd is only a few days away, which means Punxsutawney Phil will be emerging from his burrow to predict whether winter will persist longer or spring will arrive earlier. For some of us, Groundhog Day might not be the most exciting holiday, but for the people of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, it is a day of widespread celebration. What you may not know, however, is how this holiday came to be. Groundhog Day has its roots in the ancient Christian tradition of Candlemas Day, when clergy would bless and distribute candles needed for winter. The candles represented how long and cold the winter would be. Germans expanded on this concept by selecting an animal, the hedgehog, as a means of predicting the weather. Once they came to America, German settlers in Pennsylvania continued the tradition, although they switched from the hedgehogs to groundhogs since they were more plentiful in the area. Phil made his first appearance at Gulliver's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania in 1887, and according to tradition, if a groundhog comes out of its hole on this day and sees its shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter weather. No shadow means an early spring. Early observances of Phil's predictions were conducted privately in the wooded areas that neighbor the town. Punxsutawney Phil has increasingly been in the public eye. Today's celebration sees tens of thousands of visitors from all over the world as people await Phil's appearance, as most fans wait to see their favorite rock stars. Phil had become so popular he traveled to Washington, D.C. in 1986 to meet with President Reagan. He was also a guest star on The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1995. Studies have shown, however, that Phil's predictions are correct less than 40% of the time, so maybe you should stick to the Weather Channel for your weathercasts. The film Groundhog Day, starring Bill Murray, was based off the popular holiday.
This is one time where television really fails to capture the true excitement of a large squirrel predicting the weather.
Many other films and cartoons have references to Groundhog Day and its traditions. There are many other weather-predicting groundhogs, such as the Shubba Sam from Nova Scotia, Canada, but Punxsutawney Phil is the most popular out of them all. So on Monday, what prediction will you be hoping for? 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring? This has been Mike Butcher reporting for What's Up Warriors. Back to you guys at the studio.
That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to tune in next week for a new episode of The Friday Show. I'm Joe.
And I'm Cam.
Have a great weekend.